Today, we're going to be talking about how Starbucks and DSOs use brute force in their marketing and what you can do about it. So, many years ago, I saw a Starbucks open up on the corner, and right across the street was a mom and pop coffee shop. And, just I didn't think anything of it. It was a four-way, really busy stop, gas stations, grocery stores. And then what I realized is another Starbucks was open in the grocery store right across the street. So now you had three coffee shops. You had the mom and pop on one corner, you had the Starbucks on another corner, and then you had another Starbucks inside the grocery store. And guess what Starbucks did? They opened up another one on the fourth corner. So now there was three Starbucks all in one corner and then the mom and pop store. Guess what happened? The mom and pop store had to shut down because it could not compete. It was just Starbucks was grabbing too much market share. And then Starbucks ended up shutting one or two of those other locations down. And so Starbucks got 100% of the business now, but with only one third of the cost. This is what we call brute force. And it stinks. And it's usually not fair. And it's like one of those things we kind of look at and shake our heads and go, okay, what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to compete with that? And DSOs do the same exact thing, the big DSOs at least. A lot of the DSOs, they'll come into a market and they might be spending $25,000 a month just on digital marketing as a brand new practice. And you're coming out with your $2,000 marketing budget, pew, 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 with your little squirt gun to a war, and you don't stand a chance. You do not stand a chance, especially if you're marketing yourself or you're marketing with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And so there's a couple things that you can do to really compete on this. And it's not easy. Like, obviously, you're going to need help if you're competing against something like this. But there are a couple things that you do have in your advantage. First of all, you got to spend money. Okay, so gone are the days that you can spend $1,000 or $2,000 and be super successful and grow in dental. Used to be the case. It's not the case anymore. You can't do that. You're just competing against too many other factors. You should be spending a percentage of your collections. If you're spending 1% of your collections and you're like, why am I not growing? That's why you're not growing. To grow, you need to be spending 4 to 5% of your collections. And if you really, really want to grow, you should be spending 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 10% of your collections. If you're a new startup, you should be spending 10% of what you want your collections to be in 1 year from now. So if you want your collections to be $100,000 from a year from now, you should be spending $10,000. Okay, outside of that you got to spend some money on marketing to make marketing work. What are some things that you could use to your advantage? Well, the biggest thing is customer service. You have an opportunity to make sure that your team is always doing their job and that they're doing it to top tier expectations, not just clinically, but the whole patient journey end to end. And the reason that's such an advantage is more than likely the DSO, there's no owner there. So more than likely they have a bumpy patient journey because the closest owner is multiple states over and far removed from the practice. And the dentist probably doesn't have any skin in the game. They don't own it. So they're just there to do dentistry. So if things aren't ran smoothly or patients aren't treated properly from a non-clinical perspective, they're kind of like, that's not my job. You, as the business owner, you get the opportunity to say, you know what? We're going to make this so seamless for this patient to make it into our office. It's going to be so easy that they're not going to want to go anywhere else because it's going to be bumpy everywhere else. And so you get the opportunity to do that. A lot of dentists avoid this because they don't like it and they're busy doing dentistry. Don't fall into that trap. Okay, now you can partner with people to make it easier. We can help you, show you where the holes are at. We can even tell you what kind of dirt to fill the holes in with, but we can't stand there day after day and hold your team accountable to make sure that they're actually doing the work. We can tell you when they're not doing it, and we can tell you when they are doing it, but someone has to hold them accountable, and that has to be the owner. So that's the first thing. The second thing is wait times. Right now, wait times everywhere, like DSOs are struggling to keep hygienists. Hygienists are struggling. Everybody's struggling to keep hygienists. So you can get new patients in quickly, and that becomes a competitive advantage, a huge competitive advantage. The average wait time is about a month, across the United States. So if a new in every market, there's new patients every single month, and they're calling, and people are like, "Yeah, we'll see you in a month from now. You can come in." If you could say, "Hey, I have this ghost column, and I'm just going to slam new patients into this ghost column, and then we're going to figure it out when they come in." If you can figure out how to do that, and I know a lot of my clients have done that, you will absolutely crush. It's a huge competitive advantage. The other thing that you can do is generate a lot of patient referrals. Here's the honest truth. If about 40 to 50% of your new patients aren't coming from patient referrals, your patients don't like you. They don't like coming to your office, and they're not telling anybody about you. And you're not asking, probably. So you have to make sure that we have a smooth patient journey. That means patients will like you. And that has everything to do about operations. It has very little to do about clinical. It has to do with the whole patient journey. And then number two, ask. You ask. You, the owner doctor, ask. And it's so simple. Hey, how was your visit today? Oh, it was great. Thanks, doc. Wonderful. Well, we love patients like you here. And that's the only reason we're in business is because of people like you coming here. So if you know anybody like you, we'd sure love to have them at our practice. That means the world to us. And that's how we know we're doing a good job. That's it. So nothing else. Just do that over and over and over again. And people will refer to your office. It's harder at the DSOs to get patient referrals. Okay. So they have to market more. They have to market more. And then number next, and this is a big one. And this, I don't know how long this is going to last, to be honest with you. But right now, it's a huge competitive advantage. If you can lead with monthly payments using Cherry, and there's a sponsor link below if you don't work with them yet, I highly recommend that you work with them. And if you go, I don't like Cherry or whatever, fine, use somebody else. But I like Cherry because of the way they're structured. If you can just get that down and get your team trained on presenting monthly payments, leading with that with every treatment plan, new patients, existing patients, doesn't matter. Your treatment acceptance will go up by at least 30%. At least 30% right out of the gate, which means your collections are going to go up 30% right out of the gate. Like, this is a game changer because dentists don't do this. And I know what everybody says. Oh, yeah, well, we have patient financing and we have all the tools and nobody wants it or very rarely use it. I know. It's because of the way you're doing it. You're offering it at the end after they already said no, so you don't have to pay the fee. And nobody likes that. It feels very slimy. What you need to do is lead with offering monthly payments. You do that, you will crush. Test it. Do it for a month. Just do it for a month. We have gold pricing down below if you want that. And fun times. So, anyways, DSOs, they're all around. They're brute force. You have competitive advantages, though. Take advantage of them. Are you taking advantage of them? If not, then you don't stand a chance. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.